The film story begins with a young boy named Shui Sheng. He came to a river to catch fish with his father, but then he feels as if someone is calling him by his name, because of which he was very scared. He was nervous. That's why he tells his father to go home, but his father jumps into the water to catch fish without hearing anything. After a while, he comes out but he did not find any fish, empty-handed. Then suddenly Shui Sheng sees a monster in the water, about which he immediately points out to his father, because of which his father quickly comes back in the boat. But the next moment that monster attacks his boat from below, because of which his boat goes up a lot and turns. Then he strangles Shui Sheng's father with his tail and kills him, after which he is taken into the water and eaten, and we see a lot of blood in the water. That monster also puts his hand on the boat to kill Shui Sheng, which was very scary, but somehow he survives. After this, we are shown the time after 10 years in the story, where Shui Sheng has now grown up. He lives with the people of his village, in which a total of 40-50 people were included. There was also an old man in that village, whom everyone considered serious, and he was called Uncle. He is also sure to be a monster. He has been telling the villagers about the monster for many years, and God knows what the monster said. Here we see a girl named Lan, who lives with her father and younger brother. Everyone in the village likes her a lot, especially Shui Sheng, because he loves her. But he is afraid of Lan's father, who tells him to stay away from his daughter. Then a man comes running, and informs that there is a dead body on the river bank. Those who go there see that the condition of the dead body is very bad. He has no head. Then one uncle says, "Oh God, it was very bad. What he was afraid of happened. God of water has done this to him, who is very dangerous. He has come back, will not leave anyone, will kill everyone one by one." Hearing this, the village chief says, "Then you tell us such a solution, with which we can stop that God can calm him down." On which uncle says, "To calm him down, we will have to sacrifice someone." Then Lan's dad comes there, and in anger he says, "Uncle, what nonsense are you talking about? He is not a god. In fact, he is a water monster, that is, the devil of water." Who is a devil, is an animal, nothing more than this. His words seem strange to Shui Sheng. That's why he goes away from here. On the way, he sees Lan's younger brother, who was playing by the river. Shui Sheng tells him, "What are you doing by the river? Go home." After saying this, he goes away from there. He comes straight to Lan. He tells him that he has heard that a water monster has come, who is very dangerous, devil of water. That's why it's not right to go to the river. So you please don't go. I am worried about you. At night, we see all the villagers very nervous, because Lan's brother was not found, and all the villagers were looking for him everywhere. And then Lan's dad cries, who was standing in the river and crying, because his son's dead body was in his lap. That means Lan's brother was also killed. "Look," uncle says, "now you must have believed that how dangerous that God is, and we will have to sacrifice someone, then our life will be saved." Now the next day we see that those people are worshipping an animal's head and fish. Shui Sheng was also sitting far away with his cousin. He was seeing all this, but he was out of his mind that what is happening. In the meantime, Lan's dad comes there, and he breaks all the things kept there, and he also breaks all the things he brought. Uncle gets scared seeing this. He says, "Please be kind. Calm down. Why have you become our enemy? Because of you, everyone in the village will die." Actually, Lan's dad was doing this because he didn't believe in these things, like God, sacrifice, etc. Now when uncle and the village chief were talking, then they hear the voices of those people. That's why they quickly go to the river bank. Here they come and see that Lan's dad, to kill that monster. He is throwing bombs and explosives in the water. The villagers shout at him. They refuse to do this, and immediately told him to come out, but he doesn't listen to anyone, and on the contrary, he starts getting angry at the villagers, because of which the villagers forcefully catch him, and tie him with a pole. When Shui Sheng comes to meet them, he says, "You are brave, but you can't fight that monster alone." Hearing this, he got angry. That's why he scolds Shui Sheng and drives him away. It was quite late, where we could see the water flowing, because there was a water monster, which came out from there and came to Lan's dad. She had also seen the monster. The monster comes to her from above, and calls her name, Then he grabs her face with his brown hands and slaps her, and eats her whole head. Then the next morning, Lan brings food for her dad. But she is troubled to see his very bad condition. That my dad has no head. She gets scared, and starts crying in sadness. After this, all the villagers gather together. Uncle says that we will sacrifice Lan. Hearing this, Xiao Sheng and his friends oppose this, and refuse to sacrifice Lan. But then Lan herself comes there and says, "Okay, I am ready, give me my sacrifice." Hearing this, Xiao Sheng feels bad. He refuses to do that. "Don't be crazy, what are you doing? Are you going to sacrifice yourself?" On which Lan says, "I just want to see what that thing is." Xiao Sheng explains to everyone, "Look, you are doing wrong, and this is not a god, but a monster, a devil, and you are killing someone for no reason." He gets very angry at Uncle, that you are spoiling his mind by telling such stupid things to people. He gets very angry, on which the villagers take him from there. Then at night, Xiao Sheng comes to Lan, says, "Look, try to understand. Whatever you are doing is wrong, your decision is not right at all. You do one thing, run away with me to a place where this monster can never come." On which Lan refuses him, says, "My dad was everything for me, he is no more, so I don't even want to live anymore. I just want to take revenge of my dad from that water monster, and you please go from here." Hearing this, Xiao Sheng comes home. He decides that no matter what happens, now I will take revenge from that monster. I will kill him. Then he opens a box, which had a weapon inside, which was once of his dad. Many days pass, where Xiao Sheng was practicing to fight and kill that monster. Apart from this, he also puts a trap in his house, so that he can catch the monster. He was doing all this with the help of his companion. Then he goes to his other companion, to ask for help, says, "I need some people to support me, to fight and kill that monster." Then his companion introduces Xiao Sheng to his friends, who are ready to go with him. After this, we see that all of the villagers were gathered by the river bank, because he was sending the boat to the other bank of the river. The boat also had a knife with it, so that he can fight that monster. Then Xiao Sheng also comes here with his companions, and again tells the villagers, that he is not a god, for which we should sacrifice our people. He is a devil, we should fight him, we should fight him. I know this, because the same monster had also killed my dad, and many people in the village too. That's why you guys should also work wisely, and support me, so that we can face him together. Kill him. But the villagers listen to him quietly, but no one comes forward to support. But then some girls get ready to support him. Now after a while, they all get together, make a plan to catch the monster. Xiao Sheng drops some pieces of meat in the water, and says, that if there is any disturbance, then immediately pull the chain up. When they hear this, everyone becomes alert. They had their eyes on the water all the time, because they believed that the monster can come at any time, and then suddenly they feel disturbed in the water. Then his companion quickly starts pulling the chain up. Xiao Sheng also helps him, and he pulls the whole chain up. But when he sees that there is no meat on the chain, then they understand that the monster has come. Then a companion of his asks, "Go and check in the common water, whether the monster has really come or not." On which Xiao Sheng refuses him, but still he does not listen to him, and goes to check in the water. After a while, he comes out and tells everyone, that no, that monster has not come yet. But then suddenly the monster attacks him from below, pulls him, and eats him, where we only see his blood in the water. After a while, the monster then throws his head out, which falls next to him. See, everyone's condition was bad. After this, we see that the water monster comes running towards him, and directly attacks the last man, takes him with him in the water. Then he opens his terrible mouth. His head is eaten in front of his eyes. See, Xiao Sheng continues to attack him with his knock the rod, but the monster was so fast that he did not touch a single rod. He was saving again and again, then suddenly he disappears from there, because of which everyone becomes alert suddenly. Then that monster came in his boat, and was about to attack the boat, but could not do it. Now they attack him with their own rods together, but unfortunately, he survives this time too. He does not touch a single rod. On the contrary, he catches them one by one, and after a lot of hitting, he injures them. Then he attacks the boat. But to stop him, Xiao Sheng attacks him, because of which he falls very far. Then Xiao Sheng hits him very hard. The monster slips and falls, and now after so much effort, they catch him in the net. But he was so powerful that these people could not stop him for a long time. He goes back to the water to save his life. Now it was night, where all his companions lived together at Xiao Sheng's house. Many of them talk about ending this war here, and then a man leaves from there. But as soon as he reaches a tree, on top of that, the water monster attacks him and kills him. After which he had come to their house, he goes inside and sees a human, on which he attacks without thinking. But it was not a human, it was just a statue, which they had deliberately kept here. Xiao Sheng was watching the monster quietly, and by gesturing, he tells all his companions to close all the windows, by which the monster is imprisoned there. Actually, these people had set up a net all over the house, so that he could catch this monster, and they rain their weapons on him one by one. A lot of heavy attacks are made on the monster, but still the attack does not harm him. He survives. Then he starts running on the walls like a monkey, and finally breaks the wooden floor, comes out of the place where they were all. They had brought him here thinking that he was powerful in the water, so he will become weak by coming out. But their thinking proved wrong. He now attacks them, picks up one by one, throws and kills. Then Xiao Sheng comes here, and attacks him with arrows. And then as soon as the monster reaches the right place, then he traps him in a trap, closes it in a cage. He says, "Thank God, that moment has finally come. I had been waiting for this moment for the past 10 years. After a while, all the villagers come there, where the monster was locked in a cage. Someone was calling him a monster, then someone called him a water devil, then someone called him a water monkey. All together say that Xiao Sheng was right. He is not a god, he is just an animal, he is a monster and nothing else. All together call Xiao Sheng their hero, put slogans for him, and praise him a lot. But then the uncle comes there, and crying says, "You all are not doing this right. See, because of this act of Xiao Sheng, he will kill us all." But now the villagers were not paying attention to the uncle's words, after which they prepare for the celebration on this happy occasion. The village chief says, "What to do with this monster, we will see tomorrow. For now, you all go, take a good sleep, and enjoy a lot." After which everyone celebrates. She was very happy. On the other hand, Xiao Sheng asks Lan for marriage, on which she agrees. Both were very happy, because she wanted to spend her whole life together, and today she was together. Uncle's eyes open near the cage. He sees that the water monster is not in the cage now. He is missing from here. As soon as he turns back and sees, so that monster was in front of him, and was moving towards him. And then as soon as he sees, he tears his body into 2 pieces. He separates his body and drops it far and far. All the villagers were completely intoxicated, taking advantage of which the monster kills everyone, and starts eating them. That's why Xiao Sheng's brother comes from behind, and throws something to eat on the monster. Then he says while teasing him, "I am not afraid of you, you can't do anything to me." Actually Xiao Sheng's brother was a little crazy. That's why he fights the monster. He also bites him. He was saying the same thing again and again, that "I am not afraid of you," but that monster puts his hand in his stomach, and pierces it, and finally kills him. Now as soon as the morning comes, there was a mourning atmosphere in the whole village, because there were corpses everywhere. People were crying to their loved ones, because of which Xiao Sheng and all the villagers were very sad. They were also getting angry. They all decide that now we will kill that monster together. Then they all go to practice fighting with weapons. Now after a few days we see that Xiao Sheng goes to the river bank with his people to fight the monster, but he goes alone in the water. He goes inside and sees that there are a lot of bones in the water. Apart from this, he also sees the monster in the water, which was standing in front of him. Xiao Sheng starts attacking him with his rod, but that monster holds the rod, first stops his attack, and then throws Xiao Sheng out of the water. See, his companions quickly start pulling him towards them. That monster also comes running like a monkey behind him, and finally he gets stuck in their boat. All people attack him one by one with arrows, but they can't do anything about it. Like before, he still survives. Then he gets so heavy on them, that he kills someone and injures them. So he kills someone, and picks them up and throws them in the water. In this way, He also kills a lot of people. He also puts them in the water and injures them. He also kills Xiaosheng a lot. But then one of his companions and Lin catches the monster. Then Xiaosheng quickly comes on top of him, continuously attacks him with a knife, and injures the monster to a large extent. But that monstrous monster was so powerful that he can't hold on to it for long. He gets free and picks them all up and throws them. Seeing Lin Xiaosheng in such a state, she gets very sad, and starts crying. The monster's condition had also deteriorated a lot. He was injured, but once again he stands up, and moves towards them to attack. Then Lin comes on top of him to save Xiaosheng. Then Xiaosheng attacks the monster with an arrow, which injures him even more. Xiaosheng falls very far, but despite this, he stands up and moves towards them again. Two people also stop him, but he was nothing in front of his strength. He also beats them a lot, and then the arrow that was stuck in his chest, he attacks him and kills him. See, Lin was angry. She then picks up a piece of wood, and moves towards the monster, and pierces his chest. But that monster kills Lin and makes him fall. Xiaosheng was injured. He was watching all this. He was very angry with the monster. At the same time, he was also giving him the courage to avenge his father and other companions. The monster once again comes flying to attack Lin. See, Xiaosheng immediately jumps towards him, and holds him and continuously shoots arrows in his chest. He was continuously attacking him with arrows to avenge his father, his family and the death of the villagers. Finally, he breaks the monster's eyes. This causes a lot of pain to the monster. He starts suffering. Xiaosheng once again catches the monster, but he jumps into the water. Lin sees that there is blood in the water. When she sees this, she feels that Xiaosheng was killed. That's why she starts crying. But then we see that Xiaosheng is coming out with the monster by cutting its head. All the villagers were waiting for him to come out with great patience. Xiaosheng also sees his companions and family among the villagers who were dead. But he was visible to him because he had done the work of bravery, and he was very happy. He sees Xiaosheng happy and emotional. And with this, the movie story ends here. Thanks.